Welcome to Codefy's 2023 graduation ceremony. We are delighted that you all could join us here tonight as we celebrate the accomplishments of our students. We would like to start with a land acknowledgement. We acknowledge the 20 tribal nations of Arizona, to whom these lands have belonged to for centuries. We respectfully acknowledge that Codefy is located in the traditional homelands of the Akimel, Otham, and Pequash people of the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian community. The Otham people are descendants of the Hohokam, who farmed the Salt River Valley using elaborate canal irrigation techniques that are still used today. We acknowledge that the land we live and work on is native land. We acknowledge the genocide, theft, and systemic injustices against the Indigenous people. We celebrate the resilience and the contributions of the Indigenous people and respect their sovereignty and right to self-determination. We seek to be allies and to join hands in friendship and solidarity with our Native communities and students. Thank you. I'd like to welcome Sabina Rajasundaram for her founder's address.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sabina Rajasundaram. I'm the founder of Codefy. Codefy is a social impact venture. We train young adults from Native American and Alaska Native communities in software development, and we help them find entry-level jobs. It's just amazing to see you all here today. And it's such a joy to be celebrating this beautiful milestone in the lives of these young people with all of you. I look around this room in amazement and gratitude. When I started Codefy 3 years ago, I didn't have much. I had a dream, a desire to defy the norm and break barriers for young people, and a willingness to give it my all. And I knew that I couldn't do this work alone. I could only accomplish anything worthwhile in collaboration with others. And so I built relationships and asked people if we can do this important work together as partners. And many of you in this room graciously decided to come alongside. And our relationship, your trust, and your support has been my greatest honor and treasure. In this room, all of our community partners through whom our students join this program are represented. We have partners from Sealaska who've traveled from Alaska and Washington State to be here. We have our partners from the Hopi Nation. They've driven more than 4 hours to be here with us. We have our partners from Chicanos por la Causa. We have our partners from Phoenix Indian Center. Thank you so much. Thank you. And in addition, we have a council member from SRPMIC. We have friends from Cahokia. We are rich in relationships. And Codefy's advisory council members are here. Codefy Foundation's board members are here. Codefy Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit that we established earlier this year to support our work. We have our employer partners here. How amazing is it that Neudesic is hosting and sponsoring this event? Yeah, so thank you to all of our partners, our employer partners, our community partners. I couldn't be more grateful for each of you. Your presence here honors us, and without your collaboration and partnership, nothing would have been possible. Through this journey over the past 3 years, I learned Indigenous history, and I saw the parallels and differences between the colonization of India, where I'm from, and the settler colonization of America. I realized that my home is on land stolen from the Otham people. When land acknowledgements are read, I think it helps bring perspective, and it helps us understand the debt we owe the Native community, and why work like this is essential to move the needle towards undoing some of the harms caused by historical and ongoing injustices to the Indigenous people. In our classroom, we make space for our students to share their cultures and engage in deep conversations. We want our students to take pride in their indigenous identity and culture and look at themselves as leaders of their communities. We talk about the best things of our communities and our cultures and things that we wish we could change. We ask our students to think about technology solutions that could impact their communities, because no one else can create these solutions. No one else knows their communities like our students do. We have students representing 10 tribal nations over the last 3 years. And there's synergy when they all come together and talk about their strengths of their community, and talk about the challenges, and they work together to solve those challenges. And our students and alumni also give back to their communities and to the Codefy community in many ways. Throughout their training, our students spend an hour a week mentoring somebody in their community, teaching them computer science. Our students taught coding to Native American high school youth last summer as part of the STEAM camp organized by Kokora. They have presented their journey to tech to Native American elementary and middle school teachers at a conference organized by Sun Clan Consulting. They've taken part in a panel discussion on the tech industry at the Chinle Unified School District's College and Career Academy for parents and students. One of our Sealaska students presented at Sealaska's annual shareholders meeting. Our students are exceptional. I don't know of any other program or any other program where students give so much to their community and participate so much as alumni and come back to our classrooms and share what they learn, and not just to our classrooms, but also as part of their community. Our students have been exceptional in that, and I'm so very proud of them. Congratulations to these amazing young adults who are graduating today. What a ride it has been, and what a joy to work with each of these young people. You will hear some of their stories tonight, stories of perseverance and hard work. They have earned their internships and their jobs and proved to themselves and to others that they can do it. While it's absolutely wonderful that our students are proving themselves to be great software engineers and great team members, we would fall short if we stopped at that. Our dreams and goals are loftier. We are not just creating software engineers, but leaders in their communities and in the software industry. We want to see our students support indigenous data sovereignty and governance efforts. Our students have conceptualized developing technology solutions around native language revitalization, around improving health and wellness outcomes, around education, and we want to see them develop these solutions that impact their communities and create change. And to our students, as you grow in your careers, dream big for yourselves and for your communities. It all starts with a dream. It did for me. And I know that, and you should know that we will always be here for you to support and to help you. So once again, thank you so much for being here with us. Esquali, Hawa, Unakshish, Nandri, Vanakkam.
Thank you, Sabina. That was wonderful to hear. Now we look forward to hearing from our students. So may I welcome Brooke Johnson up to the podium.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank you all for being here tonight because I'll be presenting to you my graduation speech as well as representing last year's spring cohort. So I do see a lot of familiar faces, but I also do see a lot of new faces. So To properly introduce myself to you all, my name is Brooke Johnson. I'm from the Tran tribe, and I'm also a Codefy student of last year's spring cohort. So, growing up, I wasn't aware of the different types of careers that were available out there. And even then, I couldn't imagine myself being in a career that I'm in now. Fortunately though, a few years back, I happened to be scrolling through Facebook and I saw a post for Codefy. So, mind you, this also during the year I was unemployed for close to a year now. And it was also around the time of the peak of the pandemic. So it was a pretty depressing time. But eventually I reached out to Phoenix Indian Center and CPLC, filled out the background checks, paperwork, and tests, because all of that is what's needed to enroll into Codefy. Eventually though, I got into Codefy, and as we all know, Codefy is a 12-week training course. And despite it being such a short time frame, I managed to learn so much within that time. From the fundamentals of software development to how to piece together a resume. And most importantly, it was a place where I gradually started to gain self-confidence. It was also a place where I got the opportunity to interview for a 5-month internship. And during my time as an intern, I met the most amazing and supportive people. So big shout out to Jay Hackett and Tabita Kokora for being a mentor and someone who I could talk to whenever I'm stuck on a problem or just need advice. And then also to Sabina she's the founder and CEO of Codefy. Not only was she a teacher, but she was someone who, whenever I get the chance to visit her home, I get free oranges and free dishes. Also to the students at Codefy, Phoenix Indian Center, and CPLC. She's not here today, but my mom. Because I say this, if it weren't for how supportive everyone has been, I know I wouldn't be in the position where I'm at today. So currently I am a full-time consultant and also, a full-time consultant at Neudesic. So I work at this company. And I plan to take from this opportunity to continue, I told this to everyone, but to continue to grow as a person, not just professionally, but personally as well. And to give back to the community that not only helped me, but to also give back to them as well. And thank you. I would like to welcome Kyle.
Thank you so much, Brooke. That was amazing. We're so excited to hear from Kyle Clark, another student at Codefy.
Can you hear me? Good. Okay. Awesome. I'm going to talk about the journey that I went on and how none of this is possible without the work from Sabina. So in 2018, I dropped out of college. I wasn't too happy about it, and I didn't really know what to do. In the summer of 2018, I got a job as a cable technician. I worked long hours doing manual labor, but I enjoyed it. And then at the end of 2018, right over here on the 202, I got involved in an auto accident, which injured my shoulders and my back, unbeknownst to me. And so I went to work, and about a week after I came back, I was pulling cable. And then as soon as I reached a little too high, my arm just drops. I didn't know what to do. Fortunately, it came back, so I went to the doctor. The doctor said that I had injuries in my shoulders and back and that I need physical therapy. And my doctor also recommended that I probably shouldn't continue my job since it might make it worse. So, the recommendation of my doctor, I continued with therapy. And so I spent most of 2019 in physical therapy. And then 2020 came around. And then I told myself, this was gonna be the year. I'm gonna get at it. I'm gonna make it mine. And then a couple months later, the world went into lockdown. So I waited. The summer of 2021, I moved to Scottsdale, and I told myself the first opportunity that presents itself, I'm gonna jump on. And the first opportunity was applying for Codefy. During that program, I developed skills in software development, responsive web design, cloud computing, interviewing, and a bunch of other technical and soft skills, which I still use and I develop to this day. And as soon as I was done with that program, the work didn't end. Because then, now Sabina and I had to work and find employment opportunities, internship opportunities. And during the search, I had a nephew that was born. And there were some complications with his birth. And so he had to be flown from my hometown to Tucson and to spend some time in the NICU. And understandably, I wasn't really focused on employment opportunities at that time. I was focused on my nephew and his parents. And once everything was good, I knew it was gonna be all right. I came back and continued the search, but Sabina didn't stop working. She kept working through it, and once I came back, there was many opportunities lined up. And one of them was an internship here at Neudesic, which led to employment. And now, like Brooke said, I work with a lot of smart, creative, driven people that come together to solve problems with technology. And it's awesome. I have been here for a little over a year, and I still learn every day. And that's crazy. And I can tell you for a fact that I would not be standing in this position if it weren't for the hard work from Sabina. So thank you, Sabina, again. I probably won't stop saying it. And thank you. Next, I'd like to welcome Denzi Heath to the stage. Come on in.
All right. Chokma, hello. My name is Denzi Heath. I've been selected, or not selected, I guess I kind of elected myself to speak today. So it's thanks to me that I'm standing here. So I'll start this off with a little bit about myself. My name is Denzi Heath. I'm a proud member of the Chickasaw Nation. Growing up, or actually let me go back a little bit. On my mom's side, she's from Alaska, born and raised near Eagle River, and then here I am, a desert baby. So somehow she convinced my grandparents to move out here so she could go to ASU. Why they agreed, we still don't know to this day. So growing up, I was always kind of surrounded by technology and was always really driven to it and fascinated by it. From growing up, going to school with the computer labs that were still running Windows XP, getting my first cell phone, which was a Cricket that had the little flip-out keyboard, getting my first Xbox. You know, I could revel in the just thoughts of my childhood, seemingly forever. So I was always really drawn to it. The first time I was actually really interested in programming and software development was actually after watching The Matrix, funnily enough. Something about watching those really bright characters just scroll infinitely across the screen, accompanied by a man just huddled over, typing away crazily, really did it for me for some reason. And it really is the metaphor of software development, so I guess it didn't really lead me astray. So after that, and I had seen it and I was so blown away, of course I had to go seek out ways to recreate it. So I went to YouTube, started looking up videos, you know, little matrix, numbers, screen, whatever. And so I ended up creating a random number generator that just looped forever and ever, and I made it in Notepad. and that was the first piece of code I had ever written. After that, I started getting into some other stuff, game modding, you know, jailbreaking iPhones, the cool stuff at the time. You know, with relative success, maybe only 1 or 2 bricked laptops as a result, but you know, we won't really talk about that. But flash forward to a little while ago, I had just moved back here from Oklahoma, which is another story for another time. But I had come back, I was not employed, I was looking for really any opportunity I could because, you know, out here compared to Oklahoma, it's really crazy price difference. But anyways, one day, my mom had sent me a flyer she saw on Facebook for a software dev boot camp. So immediately interested, I sign up, go through the whole process with CPLC, PIC, and then the day comes that it starts. And then I meet Sabina, and then from there my journey began. Okay, yes, I know. So it's crazy to think that I've been here at Neudesic for around 6 months now. Sorry, I lost where I'm at. Okay, yes, I'm very lucky to be surrounded by such kind, awesome, and cool people every day that are just so willing to help out. Huge thank you to Neudesic for taking me on, for Sabina for all her hard work getting me into this position. Huge thank you to my family for always supporting me and which direction I choose to go. And thank you all for being here. And next, I would like to present Taylor. Forgot.
Good evening, I'm Taylor Natkong. I am from Heidelberg, Alaska, and I am a member of the Haida Nation. As Native people, the world loves to find ways to divide us, whether it's an issue about our land, blood quantum, or even the events of over 100 years ago. We live in a society that preaches unity and yet breeds division. However, today we're all brought here by one similarity, and surprisingly enough, it has nothing to do with technology. Our one similarity today is hope. Right now in our country, Native Americans are 30% less likely to find employment than their white counterparts, even when factors such as age, education level, marital status, and places of residence are similar. Native Americans make up less than 0.005% of the tech workforce, and only 19% of Native people ages 18 to 24 are enrolled in a college or secondary program. I was not one of that 19% last year. I felt like I was stuck in my hometown with an interest of coding and nothing to do with it. After dropping out of college in mid-2021 due to some family passing that was pretty hard on me, being away from home, I felt like I had wasted my chance at starting a career and that I was already behind on it. That's why something like this is so important. Native people need access to someone like Sabina, something like Codefy that accounts for these educational disparities and seeks to bridge the gap. Something that's realistic to the lives we lead in our communities and lets us build a foundation for our career from our homes. The hope you feel here today is Native joy. It's a hope for my cohort that we will use this foot in the door to propel ourselves into careers. It's a hope for the next cohort that they'll find it in themselves to power through and know that they're supported. It's a hope for all Native people who are in their home communities, hoping one day the chance comes to build something meaningful there. Thank you for coming here today and helping to celebrate our Native joy.
Hello. On the opportunity, Isaiah Lopez, or I'm Isaiah Lopez, and I'll be presenting the plaques of acknowledgement for our community partners. So our first one, we'd like to acknowledge the Hopi Tribes Department of Education and Workforce Development. The Hopi Tribes Department of Education and Workforce Development's mission is to provide and promote quality educational services to the Hopi public. The department oversees the educational process for youth, young adults, and adults by administering various programs from preschool to post-secondary education. We invite Melvina Johnson and Georgiana Siwumptiwa, is that right? Siwumptiwa, case managers of the Hopi Tribes Department of Education and Workforce Development, who are visiting us from Kikotsmovi and the Hopi Nation to receive a plaque. Our next acknowledgement goes to the Phoenix Indian Center. Phoenix Indian Center is the oldest American Indian nonprofit organization of its kind in the United States. The center was formed in 1947 as an outgrowth of Native people moving to urban Phoenix, not only to sell their crafts and goods, but as a result of the U.S. government public policy. Phoenix Indian Center works closely with many schools, training institutions, and employers to assist job seekers looking for a career change or who need certification to obtain employment in their chosen career field. We invite Olivia Hendricks, Program Manager, and Becky Paratrofich, Program Coordinator at the Phoenix Indian Center, to receive a plaque thanking them for their support. Next, Chicanos por la Casa Workforce Solutions. CPLC Workforce Solutions provides education and employability services for Phoenix youth and young adults ages 14 through 24. Through a network of businesses and interagency collaborations, they serve as a pathway for young people to succeed in the workforce. Their mission is to equip Phoenix youth to gain employment, achieve self-sufficiency, and reach career potential through education and training. We invite Terrence Pinkston, Director of Workforce Solutions, to receive a plaque to thank CPLC. All right, and finally, Sealaska. Sealaska is the for-profit Alaska Native corporation owned by more than 25,000 Tlingit, Haida, and Tsamshian shareholders. Sealaska is committed to helping young Alaska Native leaders and students reach their full potential. They do this by investing in benefits and opportunities that their shareholders value most, like education, culture, and career development, from their traditional homelands in the Southeast, Alaska to Anchorage and beyond. They fund programs to help cultivate the next generation of Tlingit, Haida, and Shishmian leaders, scholars, and culture bearers. We invite Kayla Robert, Senior Shareholder Relationship Manager at Sealaska, to receive a plaque to thank Sealaska for their support. Okay, we request Kayla Robert, Senior Shareholder Manager of Sealaska, who has traveled from Seattle, Washington to share her thoughts. Kayla led the efforts to creating a partnership with Codefy, and she is passionate about providing opportunities for Sealaska shareholders and descendants to have.
Thank you.
Please come on up.
So cool. Thank you so much for being here. I'm really honored to be here. My Tsimshian name is Halimia Mianam. My English name is Kayla Roberts. My family is from Metlakatla, Alaska and Ketchikan, Alaska. I live in the Seattle area. I work for Sealaska, and I'll talk a little bit about what Sealaska is in a second. But basically, I started my journey at Sealaska as an intern in 2017. So it's always very rewarding to now work with students and bring them through that process that I went through. And today I wanted to share how Codefy and Sealaska just really share a similar vision and really match our mission and vision, and why it was so exciting to meet Sabina a few years ago and build this partnership together. And I'm going to talk about how that mission is seen basically through something that our people, the Tlingit and Tsimshian people, really care about, which is salmon. And just quickly, what Sealaska is. Sealaska is an Alaska Native corporation. I was talking to someone earlier about how basically we settled land claims in Alaska by forming corporations instead of reservations. So we have this corporation that now exists to serve and lift up the indigenous people of Southeast Alaska. And we call them our shareholders, which sounds very corporate, but they are our tribal members. And like I said, we are people of the salmon. We care for rivers and streams. We harvest at good times and good amounts. We smoke fish and share it with those we love. It really is just, salmon is one of those things that reminds us of home, and we take it wherever we go, and we share it with those we love, and we store it for those more difficult times. So salmon holds a special place for our people, and it signals healthy waters and land, and it is a piece of home wherever we go. So at Sealaska, because the salmon matters so much to us, we have structured our efforts around career and education development, looking at the salmon cycle. So that's what I'm going to talk about today, and how Codefy really fits into that as well. So first, there's the salmon egg, and this represents our efforts across education and access, increasing access to education, and creating career paths for youth, and talking about career paths with our families. Part of that journey is bringing youth to different career development opportunities, and the place that I met Sabina was one of those opportunities in 2021 in Phoenix called ACES, and that's where we first connected, and just so glad that we met at that time. And the key here with that is encouraging youth that what they care about matters, that they can find a career path in something that compels them. I know some of our graduates talked today about what they found interesting about coding in their personal lives, and now we're here helping cultivate that into a career path, so it's very exciting. And the way that Codefy teaches and trains is what drew me in. It's about support. It's about creating an environment that connects people, and so that's just, again, kind of this salmon egg idea. Going on with the analogy, the next part is that the salmon egg hatches and begin to make their way down a stream toward the ocean. And this part of the cycle explores our effort around post-secondary education and training opportunities. And the key here is that not every salmon, not every student or young person is going to take the same path. And that's what's so beautiful about Codefy, is that it provides an opportunity that isn't a traditional post-secondary or college path. It's something that's different and very individualized, and very just meets them where they're at too, is very, very important, and something that we really found key.
These classes take place over Zoom, and they can take place in people's homes. And a lot of our people live in really remote areas of Alaska, so bringing that education access to them is so important there. Yeah, again, Sabina advocates for her students, and again, that's something that we really cared about and wanted to partner in that. And then the last part of the salmon cycle is that after the salmon is gone out to the ocean, they return back to their home stream. And this kind of piece of that cycle is around mentorship and leadership. And as Sabina talked about earlier, we really saw the value in that you bring your students back to give back to their cohorts and develop that mentorship. So just the fact that that is such a key part of the program is so beautiful and fits with what we want to do. We realize that not every student is going to leave, get their training, and then come back home. They might, and that's beautiful, and they might, their journey might take them elsewhere. But connecting them back to their heritage, to their culture, is something that we really care about and want to cultivate as well. So I will just end with my observations. This is the first time we've gone through the Codefy program with 2 wonderful students. And I just see so much drive in the Codefy students. This is a really intense program, and as someone said, a boot camp that just forces you to be like, this is what I'm doing right now. And some of you are working along the way, some of you have families, and so I just applaud and commend you for this accomplishment. I am beyond impressed with what you've accomplished. And I would just say to you, wherever you find yourself at this graduation, whether you feel like you need more training and you're going to go seek that, whether you have a job now, whether you're taking a much needed break after this moment, I want you to be encouraged and know that you did it. Everything you've done to this point has gotten you here to this accomplishment. And it's time to celebrate that and be excited that you did it. This is amazing. This accomplishment is yours, and your community is so proud of you. I'm really grateful to partner with Codefy, and Codefy emphasizes the right things. They emphasize support and connection back to heritage, and helping young people find the exact right stream that they should go down. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Kayla. We are so lucky to have you and Sealaska as partners. Now that that is done, I would love to invite Michael Ulichny, the Vice President of Neudesic Central Region, and Tabita Kokora, the Director of Talent Management and Market Operations. They've been advocates and champions of our program and of our students, and we could not be more grateful to have an employer partner like them. They will share their experience in working with our students, so welcome up. Thank you, guys.
Does that work? Everyone hear me? All right. I'm going to switch things up a bit just here. I've loved tonight. I'm hearing all of you talk about the giving, and it's been pretty amazing. We've heard about the giving, Jay, Tabita, Emily, Becca, the giving of your time for coaching and mentorship has been amazing. Tabita, the effort that you give to be an amazing teacher to everyone in the cohort is absolutely beautiful. Students, what you give, your time and your effort to learn very complex self-development is absolutely amazing. I'm going to talk about being selfish today. So I'll come back around to this, but when I was first approached, Tabita and Matt Schaffman met Sabina at UX and AZ, and they brought it back to me as an amazing opportunity to give back to the community. My first job out of college, I was actually working for the Salt River Pima Maricopa. Michael, I would spend my weekends playing at the basketball community center with Ramon Martinez's son. And I was brought into the community. On the weekends, I had the most amazing food. They treated me like one of their own. So I saw as a chance to give back. And I was certainly excited. We were given Brooke and Kyle, who came on, and we ended up pairing them with Jay Hackett, our global head of mobile innovation, to work on our cutting edge mobile technology. For those of you who don't know, Neudesic is a division of IBM, the largest technology company in the world. We are their premier Microsoft consulting and software developers. So we are the best of the best. We had them go on one of the most complex solutions that we have in our entire company to work on Hydra, which is Jay's mobile innovation. We put Kyle and Brooke on it, and we thought maybe they might do some testing. What we didn't expect was them to be so amazing. So I remember asking Jay a few weeks after how things were going, and he said, we need more Brookes and Kyles. We recruit from the best universities in the United States. We literally are very picky about who we bring on, and we were amazed at what they did. So this is me being selfish. I want more Brookes and Kyles. We have a horrible time finding top end talent out there, and we're very picky. So the fact that we get a chance to have amazing leaders and beautiful people that join our team and are amazing software developers is very unique. So I want to say, all the parents, can you guys raise your hand if you're a parent of a cohort? Okay. You have given us unbelievable team members. Yes, back, please. Somebody actually shook my hand and said thank you tonight, and it didn't feel right because I'm the one that got amazing software developers, amazing people, very smart. It's because of what you developed. Team members, what you're doing is unbelievable. Our 4 team members right now, I love what you're doing over there on the mobile innovation team. It's just unbelievable. So thank you. I will selfishly take all of your time as software developers. And Sabina, thank you for everything that you've given us here at Neudesic. So thank you very much.
My name is Tabita, Kokora, and I've had the honor of working with the Codefy team going on 2 years now through classroom visits and Neudesic's internship program. Thank you, Sabina, for a fantastic partnership and everything you do. I can't say it enough. It's been such a joy to know and work with the Codefy team. I'm going to give a special shout out to Brooke and Kyle, but also Denzi Heath, Jonas, Tran, Delbert, Lewis, and Juztin Lopez, who've all joined our internship program. What has stood out the most to me during my time with them is their passion for learning and then taking what they've learned to teach others. Giving back, I believe, is core to growth, leadership, and success. Seeing them teach at STEAM camps, volunteer their personal time, share their internship experience, and share their knowledge with their teams and younger generations without hesitation and so early on in their professional career truly inspires me. And I know I'm not the only one. The impact to our culture has been amazing. We may be teaching them technical and soft skills, but they in turn re-energize us and provide us with innovative ideas and perspectives that we would never have gotten on our own. I'm so proud of all of today's graduates. It takes a lot of courage to try something new and discipline and perseverance to see it through to completion. I hope you're all proud of yourselves. To all the family, friends, mentors, and teammates, thank you so much for all of your support. And with that, congratulations on this wonderful achievement.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful to hear from you. Thank you, Tabita and Michael. Now it is an honor and privilege to have Salt River Pima, Maricopa Indian Communities Councilman Michael Dallas Sr. as our commencement speaker tonight. Councilman Dallas was first elected into the SRPMIC Tribal Council in 2014. Prior to being elected to tribal council, Mr. Dallas served as assistant director of the senior services department. Councilman Dallas has studied at Long Technical College, Gateway Community College. He received a Bachelor of Science in Applied Management, a Master of Science Leadership, and is currently pursuing a Doctor of Education in Organizational Leadership with an emphasis in organizational development from Grand Canyon University. Please give a warm welcome to Councilman Dallas.
Yes. Can you hear me? I don't know if I need to turn this up, but let's give these students another hand clap here. I just want to say Skugudnik Kamdu, which means greetings in the language of the Atham here in this area, and Pipash, where we reside. And I want to thank you for that land acknowledgement here tonight. I also want to thank Sabina here for asking me if I can come and speak tonight. You know, I've known Sabina, it's been just a friendship first that I've known her, and she just kind of talked about what she was doing, and I see where it's gone to. It's just a blessing of how you've impacted and how to, just hearing the youth, the stories, that the passion that you have, and I like the one that I was talking about, hope. And that's what I want to do here, is I want to talk to you tonight a little bit about hope, and not only that, as a foundation. I want to share some prominent things that happened in history here in Native American tribes for a while, and I'm going to put them together first. You know, as a tribal leader here for my tribe, we've always think ahead of 7 generations. We've always put our children ahead. We always tell them that education's important. And that's one of the things as a tribal leader, we're always telling our young people. You know, there was a song that I remember my grandmother, she would sing, it would say, go my son and get an education. She would sing that song to me. You know, and I think about that song today, and I'll share that with you again afterwards, is that here on June 2nd, 1924, the United States Congress enacted the Indian Citizenship Act, which granted citizens to allow Native Americans born in the U.S. the right to vote. But later it says, however, that was governed by the state law. So even though we became citizens of this United States, we still weren't granted the right to vote, when you think about that. But a little bit later on down, there was 2 men by the name of Peter Porter and Rudolph Johnson, who were Atham, who tried to go and register to vote, but they were denied because they were told that they were awarded the federal system. Both were Pima Indians. And later, down in history, there was a man by the name of Harry Austin and Frank Harrison of the Fort McDowell. They were both working at this time and seeing the need that their people needed, and they knew that as they contacted a congressman, a little goes down that says that they were denied as well to be able to vote because they looked at some of the needs that they needed in their community, which was from healthcare to social. And later it says that they filed a suit with the help of the Indian rights. Later, going down 24 years later from that, it says in July 15th, 1948, the Supreme Court overruled and given all Arizona natives the right to vote. 24 years later. And when I look at that time of 1924, that was almost 100 years ago. And you think that's a long time, but I've known some elders that are in their late 90s, and that was just not too long ago when you really think about that. And so tonight, as you pursue this education, you're not only doing this, but there's a foundation that's underneath all of you. Right behind me, there's a mountain back here that they call A Mountain. It's very special to the Atham here. There's stories about these mountains that are around this whole valley here that we recognize when there was areas that they were going to. So that's a foundation to us as a people. But later I'm going to read something here. It was a privilege for me to sit back here with some some friends of mine that I'm going to say from the Hopi tribe. My grandfather was from the Hopi tribe, and I always feel good when I ever get to meet some people from Hopi and I get to talk to them, because that's another side that I still need to meet. And so I was doing some research. Let me share a story with you. It's a little sad, but I'm not trying to bring this down, because like I said, I'm going to bring things together. It says in 1887, the government established Kings Canyon's boarding school in the modern-day Arizona, and they pressured all Native American parents from the Hopi tribe to enroll their children. Hopi families that complied with the government's order and sent their children to these schools were deemed friendlies, while those who refused were branded hostiles. When most parents refused to part with their children voluntarily, the government restored to force, sending soldiers to round up children and sending them to Kings Canyon. And you know, I was talking to a family member of mine, and they were telling me at that time when that happened, a lot of what happened was the men, they gathered these children at the time because they didn't want them to be taken. And because as us as natives, we always think of our kids, we want to protect them. And so what they were telling me is at that time they hid them in the cracks, I'm saying, in the canyon for these people to come and take them. But what happened is because they couldn't find the children, if I'm accurate, is that they took a lot of the few of the men and they took them to Alcatraz because they wanted to give them the children. And so that's a story that happened, and sometimes we don't hear those things in history today. And another story of a man named Dr. Carlos Montezuma, who was a Yavapai Apache. A young man in the early 20th century, he was kidnapped by raiders at a young age, sold to traders, where he eventually went on to be the first Native American doctor at the Chicago Medical College in 1889. And these are his quotes. He insisted that educated Native Americans like himself must serve as an example of what Native Americans were capable of achieving when they're given the opportunity. And I say this tonight because there's opportunity. All those things, they sound sad, but Dr. Carlos Montezuma actually, he came on and he helped instill the Native American rights. And when the two gentlemen from Fort McDowell went to go vote, when they put that appeal to go and vote again, it was said it was because of some of his work. Despite all the circumstances and things he went through and the education that he received, he was able to advocate for not only his people, but the entire, all what we call Indian country today. And so I encourage you today, all of you here, and I hear the stories, there's going to be some obstacles. And I was looking at the email, and when I got an email from Sabina, it said, at the bottom it said, defy the norm. And I looked at that, it's like she's challenging someone. Defy, when you look at that word, it's just a challenge. And I challenge you here tonight that you're going to come up with some challenges, some obstacles in life. But all these things that I wanted to share with you tonight, these are some obstacles that happened in your ancestors' lives. Those are your foundations, and you look at that, and as you move forward, you got much to be proud of. And I tell you that here tonight because it's easy for me up here to say that, say to go to school. Well, I had to make a challenge myself years ago. And as Autumn people, sometimes we don't like to talk about ourselves. But I'll share this with you. I'm going to say, was it 20 years ago? My daughter's back there with me. She'll probably say it's not that long ago. But some years ago when I was in high school, I wasn't the guy you see here today. And I decided to, I don't need school anymore. I dropped out into the 11th grade, a choice that I thought was going to be good for me. And as you heard reading my accreditation and things like that, that's not me, that's not who I was at that time. So when I dropped out of school, I began to find work. And I thought, I can do this on myself, but little did I know I was going to start a family. And I couldn't support them on that income that I was getting. And there was a program that the casino had at that time called Pathways to Success. And I said, what is this? And they told me we have a program for community members that if you come in, we'll get you your GED. And I said, I don't know if I can get my GED. So I went and lo and behold, I graduated. And they partnered with Rio Salado College at that time. And they said, we're gonna have the graduation in downtown Phoenix at the Orpheum Theater, which I went to. And at this time of that graduation, there was a woman with me. She was 80 years old. And they let her speak to those in attendance, and she says, you have no excuse tonight. Anybody in here that says you're too old to go back to school? And she talked to me on the side, and she said, because she heard me saying, I'm too old to go back to even do anything about it. She goes, Michael, you need to go back to school. I said, okay. And then, you know, I think it's all God's planning, because of years later, my tribe has a higher education department. And they started to partner with Grand Canyon University, said they're going to do a cohort. So I got a call, they said, we're going to do a cohort. And it was like, what's a cohort? I didn't even know what that was. I said, just sign up. Well, the higher education instructor knew my wife. He goes, I'm going to call your wife. He called my wife. He goes, I'm going to wait here after 5 till you get here. So he waited. They signed me up. Went through the program, and I got my bachelor's degree. I got my bachelor's degree. Then he called me and said, we're doing another program. And then I got my master's degree. I want you to know that there's hope. You know, I could have beat myself up and said all these things in the past, just like some of these things I read, but you know, you got to move forward. And today I want to challenge myself, because as a tribal leader, sometimes we tell our young people to go and get your education, go do this. But I wanted to lead by example. So one of the things I want to challenge myself is that I'm going to pursue my PhD. And I said, I don't know what I'm stepping into. But right now I'm about 20 credits, about 24 credits left to finish my completion. And it's been a journey, I'll tell you, but you know, it's possible. And I want you to know that I'm proud of you guys here. I'm proud of every single one of you. And Sabina, I thank you for the friendship, the partnership, all of you that are here. You don't know what you're doing to these young people. You're setting an example for them, but also the tribes that you represent here. You're bringing light to them too, to the future. You know, they say, what's the guy's name, Steve Jobs, and those guys said something, but one of these days we're going to have a Native American that's going to be doing these technology things and selling them, and it's going to have a logo there. Maybe one of you guys know, but I'm so proud of you here tonight. I just wanted to share that with you all tonight, that I'm so proud of you. You make me feel good when I see this, because, again, you bring hope. So thank you, and God bless you all here tonight.
All right, thank you so much, Councilman Dallas. Now for the moment we've all been waiting for, the presentation of Codefy certificates to our graduates. We would like to invite Ms. Belinda Lopez to present the certificates. Belinda Flame Lopez is a board member with the Codefy Foundation and is a Quechan tribal member raised on the Fort Yuma Quechan Indian Reservation located at Winter Haven, California. At her core, Belinda is an educator experienced in motivating students to reach their educational and career goals with over 25 years of educational experience. Thank you, Belinda, and welcome to the stage. First, I'd like to call up Kyle Clark to go get your certificate.
And I'd like to invite family members as well as, our students come up. If you're here in the room, families, friends, because you're all a huge part of this journey. So if you would come up as our students get their certificates, that would be amazing.
All right, next up we have Brooke Johnson. Congratulations, Brooke. Joshua Payte. Congratulations, Joshua. Next up, we have Denzi Heath. Congratulations, Denzi.
Wait. Family coming.
Yeah, come on.
All right.
Next up, we have Jonas Tran.
If I might just mention one thing about Denzi and Jonas. Earlier this year, I had a vocal cord hemorrhage, and I was just about to start teaching. I went to the ENT and found that they said you need to go on vocal rest. So I went on a week's vocal rest and I will be better, and found that my voice wasn't better, and my classes for the next cohort were starting that Monday. So I text Jonas and Denzi, they were waiting to start their internships. I text them and say, my voice is bad, I need your help. Could you come into our classroom and help me teach? Within a minute, I kid you not, within a minute, they had both texted back and said, absolutely, you'll be there and you'll help you. You know? So I'm so grateful to both of them, and just love them so much more for how they served me and the rest of our class. So if you would please.
That's amazing. Okay, next up we have Alegandro Aguirre.
And Kayla.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Next up we have Delbert Lewis. Congratulations. Next we have Juztin Lopez. And finally, last but not least, we have Taylor Natkong. Congratulations. A huge congratulations to all of the students, and now I would like to invite Sabina Rajasundaram for some closing remarks.
I just want to thank all of you for being here. I want to thank Neudesic, Michael, and Tabita for being such amazing hosts. Thank you, Jay, thank you for being here. You know, when I was thinking about a graduation ceremony, you know, a few months ago, I never imagined that it would be this grand and, you know, that we would have this in this amazing space. This is just unbelievable to me. And I thank you so much for working so hard to make this happen for us. So grateful, so very grateful for each of you who are here, for the families who support our students, for our students. You know, it's an absolute joy working with them. That's the best part of my job, working with our students. And they teach me, they inspire me. You know, I get applications every cohort, and I read through their application essays. And every time, every application essay, it sobers me. You know, the weight of the hope and the expectations with which our students come into this program. And I think, oh, I have to do better for them. I have to do, you know, I have to make sure that they have these great opportunities. And then our students inspire me with all that they do. You know, the way they give back, they serve, they come into class, even when things are hard. They work hard and they make things happen. And all this wouldn't be possible without all of your support. You know, they say it takes a village, and it absolutely does. It takes a village. And so, thank you so much for being here. I just had a little gift from Neudesic. There's plenty of food, so please have another round of dinner or join me for dinner. I was too nervous about the food. So yeah, please. And I wanted to add just a couple of things. If you're a tribal member and you would like to partner with us, we'd love to talk about it. If you're an employer and you are looking to offer opportunities, you've heard from our students, and you're looking to offer opportunities, we would love to work with your company, and I'm happy to talk with you about it. Thank you very much. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, Olivia Hendricks is going to close us with a blessing.
Okay, if you could just all join me and bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight to thank you for all the blessings that you have given us today. I ask that you bless each and every one of us here. You watch over us and our families, and you bless the graduates as they continue their journey, whether it's getting more training, getting the work experience they need, or finding the employment that they need. Continue to bless all those who come into Codefy and help Sabina stay strong and build those partnerships, and continue to bless Codefy and bless all the population that come here. And as we leave tonight, we ask that you bless everyone on their journey home. In your name, Jesus Christ, we ask you this, Lord. Thank you.
Actually, one last thing. I'd like to take more pictures outside. We have that big Codefy banner. So, if you would take pictures with our graduates, and maybe a group picture of all of our graduates.
Maybe we can start with the group photo.
Can we do that?
Yeah, let's do it. Come on.
And everybody, we have way too much food. Feel free to take some home as well. Just have some fun, eat as much as you want.
I call the chili chicken.
Okay, go ahead.